That screen that way, that's what you're seeing, that's what the public's seeing, you're live. Now I'm gonna turn on recorders and FM units, so it's digitally broadcast out in the parking lot and recording. See the dumpster in the corner. Okay, everything's on right now. We're broadcasting.
Ready?
Ready.
All right, I'd like to call to order our records retention meeting at 7:25 on 12/13/2021. Mr. Fiscal Officer Lowry, how would you like to report on the record policy?
All records that are being kept in the office, we're following our record retention policy. All the records that we have that are in the process of being some of disposed of after we have the Historic Society and things looked at, that we're all at the point where we have all that stuff in a staging area. And I admit that I don't have all that ready, but I'm getting it ready for you all to approve that. But as far as the records, the retention, our normal records, everything we have in the offices and all is up to date.
Very good.
Thank you.
With that being said,
Yeah.
Trustee Firo moves to close the record retention meeting. Adjourn. You second it?
Very second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right.
The other meeting goes that fast, it's really good.
Yeah.
You want to wait a couple minutes? Probably are.
Yeah, just hang on one second.
We'll wait about 3 or 4 minutes and then we'll get started.
This right here, I'll have to do this one. This is mine. Trustee, do you have swearing in both of office documents?
I gave it. He's got it.
Well, he's got it, but I mean, we usually have you sign it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I have extra copies, because I would like to give this to Commissioner Smith. That way he could sign both of these. And then me and fill out your.
He's still there. I gave him one.
I just want to make sure I have the signed document from him and you, and I can make copies of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. The recatch was, okay, might have told it. You may have, I'm not sure.
I can get it back.
You want me to sign this?
Well, I still ask for the name. We'll do this right after.
It may be terrible, but it's a lot of work. Thank you.
Coming home, I watched, and it was flashing roads. It was a little it's like anything. His whole windshield was shot. He said, "Is that a walk?" One of the last dangerous to walk after. I said, "It's not gonna happen, though." You're like that. Like a baseball. Yeah, it was like, let's just say, sure. Well, you know, that's not. What's that? You know, they have his name, his drunk goes, they'll send it over. Of course, the guy didn't have no insurance, no license, no, when I had COVID, title, no original. No, I had one little boy we tried to sell. Eventually, I ended up finding out where that truck was on shelf for 4 months. He caught 9. I'm getting 4 excursions. I had to buy at least go through all the farm. Was more than a half started. I walked out my path and the warm, they got 3 or 4 warm days. So that's cold. It's not learning, it's not what I got.
All right. We'll call to order the Osnaburg Township Trustee meeting on Monday, December 13th, 2021 at 7:30. Please stand for the pledge of the flag and short devotion. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we ask that you be with the people that were affected by all the tornadoes over the weekend. And we ask that you be with all the first responders that are out working on that and keep them safe. We ask that you guide our decisions tonight to best benefit the residents of our township. And we ask that you be with our crews as they go out on their duties. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Anybody have anything to add to the agenda?
I do. Under zoning, I'll add 2 more additions, or actually, I think 3. 1 resignation and then 2 renewals.
So,
And I have some things to add to the fire report, but I'll tag on with Chief here as we work through that.
Brian, you have anything?
The fiscal officer may have some as we proceed, but as of right now, we don't.
Giving yourself away in, I see.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to approval of the meeting minutes from Monday, 11/22/2021.
Trustee Griffith makes a motion to approve the minutes.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we'll move on to the treasurer's report from 12/13/2021.
Trustee Varian moves to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's our pleasure tonight to have Commissioner Bill Smith in hand with us to do some swearing ins. We have for 2 trustees, myself and Trustee Griffith, that were renewed in November, and we start new terms in January, so we'll move on to that right now. And Trustee Griffith will go first. Oh, I got
Oh, yeah,
five.
here.
She has.
I have my
She
own.
brought her own level.
He took it back. He thinks I memorized it. But, okay.
Oh, you need the paper.
Yeah, well,
Here, no, bring it.
Here. Okay.
No, this-
That's yours, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
That'll work. All right. I'll hold that, okay?
you have to hold it.
You gotta hold it. Well, here, how do we do this?
I need a hand up and a hand on.
How about me? Do I do that? No. So hold it, put it, okay. All right. Well, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. I,
I,
Brenda
Brenda
Griffin,
Griffith,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee
the duties of trustee
of Osnaburg Township, Stark County,
of Osnaburg Township, Stark County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I think that's yours.
Yeah.
Are you down here?
Can I get
No, I think this-
Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. All right. Yeah, we're gonna kind of like, do this. There we go, that way I can read, we don't get too far. I, Randall Pirro,
I, Randall Bureau,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee
the duties of trustee
of Osnaburg Township, Stark County,
of Osnaburg Township, Stark County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have anything, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, I've been here, done that for 15 years as a trustee, 5 years now as a commissioner, and it is truly public service at our level, okay? We're boots on the ground. We don't legislate, we just, I mean, you know, we go along with the laws, but thank you for your service. Thank you for the service to your community. It's very important, it's valuable, and, you know, keep doing the hard working that you've been doing, because it's not always as rewarding as people think, but it takes special people like yourself to do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
out.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll move on to public speaks, and that is the notepad still out there?
Thanks, Mayor. If you
Well,
if you want to do it.
I will. Yeah.
Okay. Kathy Lynn.
I guess I have to throw it forward, huh?
Yeah, just take your
Come
name.
on up.
I
Name and address.
was, you guys came to on a continuance with the digging of crap out of the ditch here at 2076 Clover Ridge.
Are you in a hurry to leave?
No,
Or can you wait till we get into the road report and then he'll report on it?
and have you heard anything on, is there gonna be anything done with the house?
That's, I don't know yet till we get into zoning. But,
Okay.
rather than jump through the meeting, let's,
Okay,
we'll cover them topics when we get to the appropriate time. Okay, now we'll move on to Mr. Dwayne Miller.
Here's the original zoning drawings that we used to.
If you could stand in front of the microphone there and state your name and where you're from, so we know, so we have for record.
I'm Dwayne Miller with Miller Builders, on the salt storage building. And these are the original drawings that you guys gave me to try to get the site plan established, which we have done, and we took your plan and made one to get it through the regional planning. We do have, as you all know, we do have the approval from regional planning, and the permit is done at Stark County. I guess we got that letter a couple weeks ago, and I guess that's what stemmed this meeting, is to try to figure out what path to move forward on.
Well, explain to us why you went over date on the contract.
Well, I guess there's multiple reasons. One, the biggest challenge we had is I did not realize that it had to go through the regional planning process. And then once we got there, we didn't have the proper site plan, and that took several weeks to get that made. And then we fell into the next regional planning stage where we had just missed the first one that we applied for, because we had to redo the site plan. And it just, everything snowballed from there. So I think, a lot of the problem from then until now is I feel that you guys probably thought I was just not wanting to do the project, and, was just trying to bow out of it. And in my 18 years, that's never happened. I've never walked away from a job, and I don't intend to walk away from this one. Obviously, the cost to do it is greater in the winter than it is in the summer, but we're willing to take that cost. We do have, the rebar I secured that way back in August. So that is manufactured at Spring Creek Building Supply. It's hot dipped, or not hot dipped, it's epoxy coated. That stuff is ready to be shipped. The building is ordered, and it is.
Do you have documents to support this?
I have a little bit of a document that I made up here. I made some copies. I didn't come back and need. So basically what I did Friday and today was put together, kind of a schedule from what I was directed to from Mr. Hall. The worst case scenario is the 110 on that. That's the earliest that I can get the original crew that was going to pour the walls here. So that's why it's 3 weeks from now. I'm waiting for a response. There's a chance that we have a crew that can do it the week prior to Christmas, but that would be next week. He did not commit to that yet, so that's why I didn't put it on this paper.
You don't have any paperwork supporting that you have rebar in the building?
What kind of paperwork are you wanting? A bill of sale, or? I have nothing with me, but I can get you whatever you need. I mean,
What was the name of the company?
it's right on there, Spring Creek Supply, and Spantec there.
When did you put your order in?
For the rebar, I'll have to look at the exact date. I think it was July 15th or somewhere right in there.
Mr. Miller, as a point of clarity on the building that's in front of you there from regional planning, the original building that was approved at the regional planning meeting, was a different size building than that you have in front of you. Is that correct?
It's different by, let's see, the regional planning was, the original, and that's the other, I guess, part of the story. It was a 46 by 60, and this is a 44 by 64, or 65, actually.
Okay. So what they approved at regional planning, have they amended that and given you a stamp of approval on that amendment? Because it was amended as a different size building. It was approved at a different size than what's in front of you.
What they told me is it doesn't matter if it's smaller. If it went 1 foot bigger than what it was, it would be a problem. But since it's the same, or, you know, the footprint is the same, that's all that they told me.
Got it. So the square footage, okay, all right. Gotcha. Okay.
So the square footage is actually a little larger, isn't it?
It's a little smaller.
I thought it was longer.
It's longer,
5
but
feet
it's
longer,
narrower.
but it's narrower.
It's a foot narrower.
Yeah.
Because I sent
Yeah, 2 feet narrower.
the plans up to
46.
the regional planning, and they said it's within the footprint, because their paperwork says that it's a, has no sewer, it's within the 5,000 square feet. Somewhere on here, I thought it said that, but so it's within 5,000 square, it's within a 5,000 square foot footprint, is what they're trying to say.
And when did we give you the go-ahead on this building?
I have to look back. I think it was
Was it June? Was it May?
I think
Mr. Lowry, you know what that was? Was it June or May?
I think it was
Well,
June.
when was the date?
When was the date we approved the bid?
It was on the April 26th meeting,
Okay,
but then we approved the 2 pillars on the May 18th meeting. If you
Okay.
remember, we had some additional, and that's when I sent out a document to Miller Construction confirming all that. So on May 18th was the last one.
so by June 1, Mr. Miller had a go-ahead on the building. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to add before we?
No, I mean, like I said, will honor the price, and we will honor that, you can put some stipulations in there if you want. But that schedule is a comfortable schedule that we feel we can meet.
And you said, I know you have the rebar ordered. You said the building, the physical canvas and steel is on order.
It's scheduled to ship to this location on 1/17.
Okay. Scheduled to ship on 1/17. Okay.
And what's the new size gonna be?
It is, the actual footprint is 44 by 64. And I have a full set of plans here for you guys, because I don't know if you ever got a printed set.
And you're still proposing to operate under the same contract agreement with all the options
Yes,
at the same pricing? Do you know, since you're in the cold time now, they're going to treat that concrete, correct?
yeah, it has to be protected, the winter protection.
In the mix?
And, well, there's really nothing to put in the mix, it has the hot water, but you have to cover it if it's in the freezing range.
Okay.
There's no additive for the winter other than the hot water in the mix. And I can get you the mix design from Diano's.
That's where you get your cement?
Correct.
Do you guys have any other questions?
And good, I got notes.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Is Spring Creek delivering that steel if approved? Are they delivering? it
Yeah,
right
they
here?
bring it right here.
Okay. Trustee Pierre is going to move to go into executive session for a conference with attorney. This concerns disputes involving trustees which are subject of court action.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call. Griffith,
Yes.
Varian,
Yes.
Piru.
Yes, timeout is 7:48. We will have a decision on this. We're gonna invite Attorney Charlie Hall in, and we'll invite Road Superintendent Stu up for it. We'll be back. Good. Yeah, you're always invited. You got the money.
I'm going to mute this.
Yeah. Is this?
First two.
Oh, I think we all got.
I have.
I think we all got.
Isn't that? Still is.
Ready?
Yes, it is.
Okay, trustee Piro makes a motion to come back out of executive session at 8:40.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call,
Griffith,
Yes.
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
yes. Trustee Piro makes a motion to reinstate the contract with Miller Builders with appropriate changes as of 12/13/2021.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call,
Griffith,
Yes.
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
yes. All right.
Mr. Bureau, members of the board, if you don't have anything else for me, so I don't keep racking up an hour, I will excuse myself.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
I'll get you copies of things very, very quickly.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the fire report.
All right, good evening. The first issue, we had Fire Safety Services, Julie from Fire Safety Services come in last week to fit our 3 new hires for the year. So I'm not sure how you want to do this because the current prices are only good until December 15th. And she expects there to be an increase after that and possibly again in 2022. But she told us if we can get approval now, billing won't come in until next year, so I don't know if you're able to put that on a different budget or how you want to do it, but we have to get 2 sets of gear and 3 sets of boots. And the current pricing for all of that, it'll come to $6,080 for 2 sets of gear and 3 sets of boots. That price will go up after December 15th, and I don't know what that price will be.
Okay, that's
So are you able to,
three
is that
boots.
something that you can put on next year?
How many sets of gear?
2 sets of gear, which is 2 pants and 2 coats, and 3 sets of boots. And I can give you the individual cost if you need it.
Trustees, you could approve, but when I write temporary appropriations, being it won't be billed in, I'm gonna write a purchase order that'll be carried over for it
Okay,
if you want to do that amount.
okay.
And I can do that.
All right.
2 sets of gear.
2 sets of gear and 3
boots.
3 pairs
3
of
sets of
boots.
Okay, trustee Varian moves to approve.
So
What was it? What was it?
$6,000.
$6,080. What's the, who we bill it to?
Fire Safety
Fire
Services.
Trustee Varian moves to approve $6,080 to Fire Safety Services for the purchase of 3 sets of boots and 2 sets of gear for our 3 new employees at the fire department.
Trustee Piro seconds. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
The second issue I have on there, I talked to Trustee Varian earlier today. We have a number of lights that need replaced on the various vehicles, and he has that list with the information.
I do. So I've got pictures of all the light numbers, so we're gonna go and get some prices for some LED lights. What is the number? Is there a number that the fire department can spend without approval from the trustees?
Usually if it's a maintenance issue,
Okay,
they can go up to 250. If they're
Okay.
gonna go over 250, then usually they come to you with
Well,
quotes.
I didn't have time to, I wanted to speak to Mr. Onkefer, and I spoke to Brian as well from the road department. And I want to get these LED lights and make sure they're the right ones and make sure we're doing this right. So I'll talk to these gentlemen. I'll get the list and there's a light here and a light there, and so we're just trying to keep up on the maintenance of it. So I'll be back together. And if it's under that 250, we'll get them ordered and get them switched out as soon as possible. One's a headlight that we might have a wiring issue because it was on and then it was off and it was on again. But everything else I think is a burnout bulb. So yeah, great.
And then, so today we had two of the cadets in for training, and while we were training on our engine, a couple of issues came up. One, there's a problem with the foam, where we put the foam in, there's a separate foam tank with the water tank. There's some type of leak. I can't see where it is. It's down inside the pump. It's not so bad that it's running all out, but there's definitely something that's leaking. The good news is we can still use the engine despite that, because we don't have to have the foam. It's just an additional benefit if we have it.
Chief, sure, which engine is it?
241.
But while we were training today, in addition to that, we were going over drafting, and there's some type of air leak also within the pump panel that did not allow us to draft the way that we're supposed to. But again, along the same lines, 90% of the time when we're doing a water supply, we are not drafting. But again, it's supposed to be able to do it and it's not operating correctly. So my suggestion is, if sometime between now and January, depending on the budget, if we can send it back to Advantech, if we'd used them before and had some success with them. If we could send it down there and have it evaluated.
Is that the one on Southway?
No, that's the one down
in
in
New Philly,
Yeah.
down south of New Philly.
That's
we
the-
took the
Where the
tanker.
tanker went?
with the tanker.
What
That's
about
the
this
one
company
that
on Southway that's in our
Well,
county?
The company on Southway, I don't believe that they're authorized for emergency vehicles, where Advantech and New Philly is. That's specifically what they do down there.
Yeah, but I thought they had new fire trucks out there, didn't they, Stu? The one out there on Southway?
E1, they specialize in fire equipment and
Yeah.
ambulances and everything else.
Are they authorized for the emergency vehicles?
Do you know the name of the one on Southway?
E1.
That's what I thought.
It doesn't matter where.
What that was again.
Wherever, it doesn't matter.
I just try to use somebody in our county if we can.
I just know we use Advantech and
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the gentleman that I worked with the tanker. I'll look him up. Trustee Barry, I'll do that. I'll call E1 and I'll ask about it, and then I'll call Advantech tomorrow and just
But-
tell them what we're dealing with and see.
Yeah, so it's not a huge time crunch if it's something, that we had to get into January before we could have it looked at.
Okay.
Because the engine itself still operates and we can flow water, we just can't draft with it. And then, of course, the foam issue.
What is draft?
Like the
So drafting is when you take water from we could set up a portable pond
Oh,
and take it out of there, or like an actual pond. But we can still use it from a hydrant, we can still use a tanker shuttle, we can still flow water from the tank on the engine itself. We just can't draft from a static source.
okay.
Can you draft from another fire truck?
Well, we don't draft from another truck, they just send the water to us. But
So you
yes,
can do that.
we can still do that. That's 90% of how we get our water.
Yeah,
It's that method, so we'd still be able to do that. And that's all I have, other than you can see the call volume since the last meeting.
And we go back to the 3 new recruits, they're
Yeah.
still cadets. At some point, then you'll bring them in here so they can be sworn in.
Yeah, we can set that up.
Okay.
I know Hinkle, he was already on our,
Yeah, he was on there from before.
yeah, I didn't know but I mean, officially, if you trustees want him, but I know it's hard to get all 3 of them sometimes at the same time, but.
Yeah, I'll talk with Amy to see about setting up, maybe at the next meeting, I'm not sure.
The men's restroom at the fire department has a urinal backup, so we have Mr. Kevin Miller from Miller's Plumbing called, and we're going to continue to follow up on that. Right now, the water source is turned off to that, because it's overflowing because it's not draining. So, do we know when the dumpster's picked up at the fire department? The new Kimball.
The Kimball one got delivered, but
Okay.
I do not know when Republic is gonna pick up.
Okay.
One of my projects tomorrow is to find that out, because I drive by there daily when I go to the.
Do you know if it's the same day as here? Like what day the new Kimball pickup
It
is?
came today.
Yeah,
It came today?
Picked up.
Okay. So
So
I think your Kimball trash can's full, right?
Yeah, they have not come by the fire station to empty the Kimball trash can yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's twice a month, but I do have a chart. I think it's Thursdays.
On Thursday.
Okay.
But
Oh, it's twice. It's every other week.
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. And then I see you have the billing increase here on one of the lines, so we'll do that in a second. I'm going to be meeting with Amy, the interim fire chief, on Wednesday, the 22nd, and we're going to begin the process of starting to work through the handbook. She's on call that day, so we'll see if we can work together before she gets called out for something, but I have the time off so I can work together with her. So Wednesday, the 22nd, we'll be sitting down and starting through that handbook. It's not all going to get done in one day, but we're going to start taking little bites. And then, Mr. Lauer, do you want to speak on the billing increase for Ohio billing?
Yeah. Shut this off. Last Thursday, Amy and I had scheduled a meeting. It was a teleconference with Ohio Billing. And the teleconference was just to go over all our billing process with Ohio Billing, what we do. And the only modifications they had was their fee is going from $25 to $27 per call. Okay. That's the only change in the price. As far as all the other information that I would deal with the fire department and Amy would deal with from, the chief and them would deal with, everything looks the same. I know Amy brought up about possibly a change in some software that everybody's going to, and there was grant money available in the area.
So,
You might know more about that, chief.
so we fall under the Stark County Medical Control Board as far as operating as medics and EMTs. However, Mercy is moving away from that, and they're going to follow UH, which is a hospital organization in Cleveland, and they have their own medical control board. And if we opted to go under those orders, they provide EMS software free instead of, like right now, we
Pay for that.
pay for IMS. So we could potentially switch who our provider is, but that organization then offers it free, so there would be no charge for it. And it's, that would save a certain amount of money every year. There's some other benefits by switching, but that's one of them.
One of the questions we asked with Ohio Billing was they're ready for that because it seems like everybody's changing over to that. So
Yeah, it's a common software in Stark County. I mean, it's used all over, but Stark County, a lot of departments use it already. It's called ESO.
And trustees, I had the two agreements here that usually like the president and the vice president sign off and then a witness. The other agreement with Ohio Billing comes with the president and then usually an officer of the fire department. But with all this stuff starts on January 1st, I wanted to bring it to you if you wanted to look at this stuff and go through it. But I know I didn't get everything to you in a timely manner. And if you want to wait and hold off on signing it till the next meeting's fine. I know Trustee Griffith, you might not be available right then, but if you wanted to get this rolling so that I can get it back to them and get it all in order. These documents are identical to what we signed back when Trustee Middle was here, is the last time these documents were updated
What did you say the timeline was to get them signed and back?
by the end of the year.
Okay. All right. And we have another meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do that, but I was thinking, I know Trustee Griffith had let us know.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be at that meeting, and I thought could get that done tonight would be great, but if not, no problem.
Is that all you have for fire?
Yeah.
Did we get any updates on the cell phones? Last time we met, talked about getting some cell phones. Do we
We
know?
received them.
We have them?
The cell phones I was able to get at no charge,
Oh, great.
Yeah, we have them.
and I gave them to Amy, and she said, "Tell me, Chief." She says, "Oh, everything's working."
Yeah, so I haven't heard any complaints.
Yeah.
All right.
What about the iPad?
The iPads are on a back order.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have
And-
those.
Okay.
We're kind of at the mercy of I tried other vendors to get them, and it seems like those are a hot item right now.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. All right. So the new phones are in and you're using them.
Yes.
Great, great. Thanks for doing that, you guys. That's great. You want to just go ahead and get this signed, or do we?
You want to do it or table it?
Oh, no, I was gonna sign.
Yeah, we can sign.
You need a
I mean,
motion
you
for
guys
it?
don't have to
I would
sign.
do a motion that you're accepting Ohio Billings service agreements.
Okay.
Just read it.
Trustee Varian moves to accept Ohio Billings new service agreements. The largest point of change would be the per call cost is $27. Previously, it was $25.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Trustees, I'd ask you to sign, you'll notice there's, the one paper has two signatures for trustee, like the president and vice president usually sign.
Okay.
And then there's a witness. And the other document just has one, it's usually the board president, and then Chief Shearer would sign that, one of the fire department personnel.
Okay.
After I sign that, do you care if I'm excused on my shift tonight?
Sure.
You need that signed tonight, Brian?
Yeah, I'm gonna hand that back to you, Brian. So at the end of the, you can do that in the meeting.
Cemetery report, do we have anything to report on cemetery?
This is the one right here. That one.
We'll get that.
He's talking.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Chief, can I send something back with you for Amy?
Yes.
Here, do this, chief. Sign it, too. That's my fault. Reading it upside down. There we go.
Yeah, you have it now. You didn't have anything else for me?
Nope, thanks a lot.
Thanks, bud.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
This right here, just do it. I'll sign it.
I'll get it after.
Okay, we just set it off the side. Yeah.
Do you have anything that for cemetery report?
I know that, a reminder, this Saturday, December 18th is the.
Oh, yeah, Flags of Freedom.
Yeah.
At our Mapleton Cemetery.
How about Reese Across America?
Reefs across America.
There'll be some flags out.
The porta-john will be delivered on Friday. I'll coordinate that either with my road guys or with cemetery section Shear. And I've asked, when you already approved that we have some road personnel there to help direct traffic, because there was quite a bit of traffic there last year. There was 100 and some people there on parked on that road.
Can you confirm the time of that, please?
What's that?
Can you confirm the time?
It's noon.
Noon, thank you.
I think some speakers might be going earlier than that.
Okay.
And
Thank
they had told me, and I can't remember who I talked to. Was it Kay? No, Ryan, when he was here at that zoning meeting, he was here. He told me that they have, if the weather is bad, they're gonna move everything inside the Historic Society. Or the Mapleton Church.
The church,
Yeah.
on site, not
on
East
site.
Canton Historical
Yeah,
Society, but
yeah.
in Mapleton. Okay.
All right. Road report.
Nothing, just cleaning up the storm we had on the weekend, mostly right now.
Okay, let's move to what the Lynn said question. You cleaned the ditch up across.
Across, where the abandoned house is,
Yes.
I cleaned that ditch all the way down.
Did you uncover the pipes that were,
I didn't find any pipes. I mean, I found one pipe and that was about it.
all right,
So nothing was coming out after I cleaned it. So
have you guys noticed stuff
It's
discharging?
running,
it's running now.
It's running.
I haven't been back over to check it, so.
Above it's not, but from that pipe down, it's running down.
Pardon, I didn't hear what you said.
From where that pipe drops out into that ditch, from there down to the end, down there, it's all wet.
But above it, it's dry.
I'll make a call to the health department and see if they can send somebody out to just check what
Yeah,
the
it's got a
discharge is
roll.
on it. And make sure it's safe.
Nasty looking black film on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the best place to have them test it, and it could just be decaying leaves, we don't know, but once we know, then,
Can't be decaying leaves, would you just clean it?
no, coming out of the pipe. I don't know, if it's a downspout, I'm just saying, I don't know.
It's not downspout.
Well, it's up to the health department to do a water test or something like that, we don't offer that here, so we have to go to one of our resources, so.
I already paid to have a water test done once.
Uh,
I paid $125.
but you got it all clean now.
Yeah, it's all clean all the way. Even went beyond it, and kept cleaning out the ditch so it runs all the way to the water.
So when they do test that water, we had them, we didn't have them, they was over in the Klotz allotment testing. And they can pick up bacteria and fecal matter, which is not of any color. It's just clear, so it's,
Well, that's what was in this.
That's what I was in it last time when I had it checked.
yeah, so it's the bacteria count, and the health department can do that and identify if there's something in it. That's why we were able to identify there were some
Yeah, they
septic
told us we
leaking
had to
into the
put
creek.
so much lime into that,
In the ditch.
to break down what, was coming out of way from that house up there.
It was your.
Well, but we can't tell anything until it's tested.
No, you need to have the health department go out.
Once they test it, then they'll make decisions of where we need to go from there if there's action needed. We'll get on that and I'll keep you guys, I'll give you a call and let you know when they're gonna be out.
Yeah, because there was somebody here probably, a couple weeks ago that was down there and they were looking down into
Look at
them,
that. In their septic.
septic tanks and stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but
They had lived over on the septic thing.
I know I contacted the health department about a week before they were planning on going out to check it. So they were hopefully out there, but I haven't heard anything back.
Okay.
There's possibly might have been them. Then.
Yeah, they'll know whenever I contact them what's been going on. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Nothing's broke.
Nothing.
Everything's ready to go.
Oh, I have something.
She said, oh.
I'm passing this on. It came from Melway Paving, so I'm gonna give it to the road
These
crew
guys.
put in their
I'll
office.
give it to
Look
that
at
guy
this
over
guy.
there.
Look at that. Chocolates for you, Stewie.
Yeah.
Don't even want one time.
Enjoy that.
I got one too, but I didn't get it. It got opened before.
It's getting late at all.
I opened the box and I come back
She
and the
gone.
plastic was gone.
She gone.
Come back tomorrow, when we're opening.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. But everything's ready now. Everything's
Yeah,
mounted.
all those salt spreaders are on the trucks. We took apart the 550 just so I can use it to clean up from over the weekend that's still on. I have a couple days in there, so I have Dave in here right now helping me with that. So we'll get it all cleaned up and put it all back together and then here you go. Gonna haul some grit tomorrow.
Gonna get a couple loads of drip for the salt.
Yeah, just to be prepared. Always good to be prepared.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thanks.
Let's move on to zoning.
Since the last meeting, there's been 4 permits issued. First one was for a tower over on Midday. They're just replacing antennas already up there, so they're putting new ones on where the old ones were. And then the other 3 are for 3 new storage buildings, out 30, going towards Minerva. Those were all in the right zoning for them, so there was no need for a hearing or anything, so those were approved.
If you remember right, those storage buildings applied before to expand, but the new rules required them to install a restroom facility, and they didn't want to do that, so they backed out. So I don't think that rule's changed, so it isn't our rule. I actually think it's at the state level, isn't it?
It's at the state,
Yeah, it's at the state level.
it makes sense, but it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And our concern was that people would be using it to basically live in because it's a remote area.
They rent a unit and use the restroom down the way.
So,
Put a nice little
People
space heater in
idea.
there. I know. Nice little house. No kids. Oh man, now you get me thinking.
All right.
Over on the nuisance side of it, there was a house with trash on Lucy. I drove by it. It's cleaned up from what I can tell now. And turnaround down the road from that, from what I could tell, was opened up, so that's all open and good to go.
Great.
The truck that is alongside the road on Lucy, I contacted the sheriff and haven't heard anything back, but I drove by and it's still sitting there.
All right.
And then from our Board of Zoning Appeals meeting we had last Monday, all three of the hearings got approved. So there's new garage for Midday, the short-term rental over at Variance is approved, and then the Sucos Park was approved.
now I want to make a complaint. So I went to that BZA hearing to represent us, the trustees, for our Broadway parcels.
Mhm.
And this room was packed. And there were 3 hearings. Mine was last. So I thought, okay, so I stepped out. All of those people, except for a couple of variants who ended up staying because they wanted to talk about the park, all were here for the park issue. I was grilled forever.
So what's the complaint? 'Cause you told me not to come to the meeting.
What's that?
What's the complaint? Because you told me not to come to
Because
the
I
meeting.
can't believe all these people showed up
I
for
know.
the park.
We need to have a community meeting on it
We are.
because I'm getting hip questions on it. They want to know.
My dad and I had an hour and a half meeting after the meeting at my house.
Trustee Griffith did a good job.
They said you did a great job.
I'm just like, all these people are
Yeah.
here for the park?
They're all here for the park.
That's what they were here for.
Yeah.
So, but
My mom and dad
it
both-
went well, and I met all the neighbors, including the
All the
one
neighbors.
that owns the property where Whirly Dead ends, and he's more than open to giving us access as another entranceway to the park.
That's
So it
huge.
ended up great
That's
after
huge.
all.
Right. I think they just want to be informed, but just park is a hot button issue in our county at times. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've heard it come up
Yeah.
before.
Well, and I think the current owners of the old Sucos building, which would be, help me with their last name, the old farmhouse and barn.
Oh, McCullough.
McCullough's. I feel like I think it would behoove us to keep them kind of in the loop of what's going on.
Right, and I did inform them all that all the neighbors, we won't be making any changes until we let everyone know what's going on. At this point, it will be moving very slowly. What you're gonna see is a sign go up, future home of Sucos Park. However we word it, it's probably gonna have to be maintained by Osnaburg Township trustees or something like that.
The Holman brothers are the ones that are farming it. I did find that out.
They didn't come, but there were 3 other farmers
Yeah,
there,
that.
and all 3 farmers wanted the right to farm it. So we have a problem because they were all kind of arguing who's gonna get to farm it. So we're gonna have to talk about that more in private.
Put it out for bid.
So,
Trustees, you went through the steps of the zoning hearing and they approved, you need to officially do an approval of those 2 parcels that we're going to accept them as part of the trust.
so we can
And-
notify the bank.
Yeah, and I would suggest the 2 parcels that are in Washington Township, decline on those 2.
That's Marlboro Township.
I'm looking at the report,
It's Washington.
it says
It's
Washington,
Washington.
actually.
Okay.
The one is, I'm not sure about the other one. The one.
I got the
the
part-
one that
I got the-
attracts is Washington.
I have the parcel numbers of those 2 strips along the railroad that we would decline.
Right, so we need to decline those also.
I would think a resolution saying approve those 2 that the zoning board just approved in their hearing, and the other 2 decline, and then I can put that in a resolution and get that to the trustee of the Huntington Bank.
Just so Commissioner Smith knows, we had a resident pass away and leave in her estate. She had 5 parcels left them all to Osnaburg Township under the condition that whatever we accept, we must turn into a public park. So, but two of the parcels are,
Was it in Canton? One was in Canton.
one's a house
don't
in
have to
Canton,
worry
which
about
we're
that.
not, that's gonna
Two
go
in
for sale.
Washington.
Two parcels are in, I thought it was Marble, but it must be
It actually
Washington.
says Washington Township on there. Yeah.
And we're not gonna accept them, it doesn't make sense. And I believe those two parcels, which are pretty small in acreage,
They're long, real long, but they're nothing.
Well, actually, they're gonna be presented to you guys next.
they're gonna be offered to
Yeah.
Stark Park.
According to the trust.
No, I thought it was county
We're
commissioner.
not Stark Park.
Is it the
Although
county commissioners?
we own about 40% or 50% of the land under Stark Park.
Oh.
We do not own it all.
Well, I think you have the option.
Yeah.
According to what he said, you have the option to decline these, then they'll be sold. And
Yeah.
the money will go
Yeah.
into the trust.
The trust said Osnaburg Township 1, County Commissioner 2nd,
Yes.
3rd sale for private sale or public sale.
To support the park. It goes back
So-
into the fund.
I guess the bottom line is if you don't accept the two parcels, which are really worth nothing, they're probably really only worth something to the farmers field and farm.
Yeah, absolutely.
But whenever it's sold for, that fund goes into the trust that also came with the land to us to help maintain our park.
And presently, the trustee of the bank said there's $900,000 there. And along with the increase of, once they sell properties and the other things will go into that.
Mhm.
And I know trustee Piro was just doing some math there about 4% interest, how much we could do this over
Yeah.
time. But trustee Griffith really spoke well at the meeting the other
And,
night.
and there's 50 acres.
Yeah.
50 acres is what was left for the
Yeah.
park. So
About
it's a
letting
chunk
the
of land.
community be a part of all the decision making on it.
Well, thank you for,
That trust then will help develop the park. then.
Right, it'll help
Yes.
development and maintain.
Wow.
yeah, really,
Right.
really quite a gift.
Yeah.
That we're responsible to make something happen.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good gift.
We figured most of the money should stay. You don't want to get carried away in case something comes up that you want to have a cushion there. Okay, you never know what's going to happen.
And you also want to build slow because you don't want to have a
Yeah, we need to go. after
50 acre
grants
park
or-
that you can't afford to keep up.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll move slow.
So, yeah.
Actually, the school system, fourth grade's already reached out. The STEM class is gonna do a project under STEM, coming up with some ideas of what they'd like to see in the park. And then we'll go to a community meeting after that.
Great.
So we
Well,
need,
thanks for answering all those questions in that meeting. You did a good job.
You need a
you need a motion.
Do we want to get these parcels taken care of?
motion to, let me make sure I got my right notes here. Yeah, these two, see that, these two
If we knew it was
parcels
coming, we could have
off
planned.
of Broadway.
Yeah.
Right.
None of
You
us
want
had
to
any
approve,
clue.
we're going to accept.
Yeah, it was kind of a
that.
surprise. The land is,
These two parcels, Washington, we want to decline.
This is the parcel number here?
Yeah,
All right, I'll make a motion.
actually, it's even on our zoning reports.
those are the two that we're accepting on the zoning board.
All right, trustee Piro moves to accept parcel number 3703472 and parcel number 100041155 on the Sioux Coast to be made for the park.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Trustee Piro moves to decline parcel number 7501260 and parcel number 7501261 to be moved on to the next step.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
So Brian, you'll notify okay.
I will get to Phil France from Huntington Bank and giving that resolution.
discussion on engineer office and info for vacating road on 16th Street.
So after our last meeting, I reached out to Rick Flory, I believe, and he let me know that there was a $125 filing fee to send it to the commissioners. So he also said that could be passed on to the property owner if you decide to do so. But,
I think I made him aware of that whenever we first started. There would possibly be a fee. what it is a paper road. It's a road that never happened, and
Yeah.
people have the property and they want it off the map. What do you guys want to do on the 125 feet?
I think the resident needs to pick
I
that
agree.
up. It's not gonna benefit any other township resident.
That's true.
You want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion that any fees that are attached to the vacay of this property are passed on to the property owner who's making the request.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. You'll contact them then? I don't think, like I said, I'm pretty sure I told him at the beginning that there was a possibility for a fee, 125 feet.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him probably tomorrow and let him know.
All right,
And then I need a copy of the resolution saying we'll vacate the road to send to the commissioners from the last meeting.
okay.
The one that we did,
Mhm.
is that good enough? Because that's what they did the first time, or does it need to be reworded or something amended to it?
I think the one we did is good.
Okay,
Yeah. I just need a copy of
Okay.
it.
It's just a.
yeah,
just a
all it
trail
was,
of
yeah,
that.
all it was is, it looked pretty simple that I wrote up last time. Okay.
All right. All I have left is Brenda.
Okay, so you should have a letter from Karen Musowich, who was the vice president, or vice chair, I should say, of the commission. And she has decided it's time to resign. She did it retiring as of November 15th. We had offered to ask her to come in actually this evening early. We were going to do a little reception for her, but for whatever reason, she didn't want to do that. She's very happy. She's not, it's just time to resign. Probably the world and COVID has a lot to do with everything. But I just sent it to the email. It's not going to be in this meeting. You have to go out to the regular email, their Outlook. A letter that I typed up thanking her for her more than, since 2006. So
Yeah.
more than 15 years of service. We couldn't exactly nail down that date for sure. So you can see in there, I'm asking her a few questions, but if we could get that printed on letterhead and maybe leave it in everybody's mailbox to sign, I put everybody's name across the bottom.
Great.
Then we'll mail it to her. So are you able to print that on letterhead, Mary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So it wasn't a conflict issue. She would just rather not have a little reception.
Correct.
We're not going to do that. Okay.
Right. At this
No
time,
worries.
she just didn't want
That's
to
fine. Okay.
group.
Understand.
And at the same time, it's the end of the year. We have one member off of both the BZA and the commission whose terms expire. And I contacted them off of the BZA. It was Chris Griffith.
Okay.
She must have been filling a short term from somebody else.
She was.
So, but she was more than happy to rehire.
Oh, great.
So I will abstain from that vote. I'll let you guys take care if you want to rehire her or not.
Do you want me to do that now?
Sometimes we do that at reorganization, but it's right now you want to do it, like put her in that
Yes.
position?
Yes.
Okay, so trustee Varian moves to reinstate Chris Griffith on the Board of Zoning Appeals
Yes.
for her term to start
January 1st.
January 1st and go through
5 years.
a 5-year term.
Trustee Piro seconds, roll call vote.
Griffith,
Abstain.
Varian,
Yes.
and Puro.
Yes.
And then on the commission, it was again a short-term appointment for Tracy Clapper.
Yes.
And she currently is serving in the role of secretary there. She agreed to up again for the 5-year term. And so I'll make a motion that we rehire Tracy Clapper for the commission.
Trustee Varian second.
Roll call vote.
Griffith,
Yes.
Varian,
Yes.
Puro.
Yes.
That's great. They both wanted to do it again. That's good.
Yes.
'Cause
Now,
they're
we're
both-
still short. Unfortunately, we've had COVID take one of our members away, and with some retirements. Both the commission and the BZA need to have at least one full-time and then two alternates. I will tell you that Rick Wakeham has indicated to me he's thinking about switching. He'd like to switch maybe, well, he hasn't confirmed it, from the commission to the BZA. He likes that parliamentary procedure and that strictness that goes with that. He does a lot of that in his union work that he does. And so it's probably fitting well for him. If he decides to make that move, then we'll bring that back. And
Okay.
in the meantime, spread the word. We'd like to get at least two for each one of those groups, if not three, for people that could be interested. And I'm trying to, not that for any, I'm just trying to get a lot of diversity on there. Diversity in gender, where they're located, their age. Just, we need some diversity so that we get the best representation for our township.
Very good. Anything else on zoning?
That's all I have.
All right. No old business, new business. PO for 21250 for balance due to Hall Firm. Trustee Hero moves to pay Hall Legal Firm $212.50.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. The then and now PO for November 17, 2021, F550 at Sarshans, the rear brakes. So moved by Trustee Piro.
What was the total on that, do you know?
316, it was on the checks, I'm sorry. I don't
No,
have
you're
it.
fine, 316-ish,
Yeah.
okay, all right, great. Trustee Varian, seconds, the,
All those in favor, aye.
All right.
aye.
Opposed? I got one more thing I missed in the road report. We have Mike Wheeler put in an application to be a backup snowplow driver.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll have to second that.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd
That's
be
good.
great.
Roll call vote. I'll make the motion. Trustee Pure makes motion to accept, to hire Mike Wheeler.
Sorry, I didn't
Unless you're
second it.
That's fine, you already did it.
Griffith, your second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you say roll call?
Yeah.
Griffith?
Yes.
Varian?
Yes.
Hero.
Yes. That's all I got.
CCDL driver?
Yes.
Need one more motion.
Trustee Varian moves to adjourn, pay bills.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye.
All right.
Okay, give me a few moments, shut everything off.
This is great, have an extra person.
We got another one coming next meeting.
Yeah, I might have another one for you too. I might have another one for you too.
What do you think about the park, Commissioner Smith?
Where's it located?
That's on, off of Broadway, and it's a long,
Oh, yeah, I did some sucrose over there.
yeah, it's long, and it goes in to the length of where Whirling goes out.